I'm a judge of the Court of Appeal in London, which is not a specialist court, but I was asked by the then Lord Chief Justice in 2003 to lead our judicial contribution following the Johannesburg summit to which Luke Laverizon has referred. And as a result of that, I went to a number of meetings in Nairobi, and also I was lucky enough to come to the first of Amadeo Postiglione's great ventures in Rome. It was perhaps even more impressive than this one, but it was certainly had all the hallmarks of an Amadeo occasion. Now, Amadeo has always had very great aspirations on the international front, and he's been a tireless champion of that for many years. I understood him to be expressing some frustration that at the international level not a great deal has been achieved. But I think he can take pride in what's been achieved at a rather more modest level. It was following that meeting in Rome in 2003 that the Forum of Judges for the Environment in Europe was set up. Luke Laverizon was one of the founder members, as was I. That, I think, has been an extraordinary success in bringing together judges from across Europe on a number of fronts, not least, I think, just understanding each other. I well remember an occasion in London at our conference on the subject of waste, when we were struggling with the meaning of that elusive definition of waste in the European legislation. And at one point we got all 25 delegates to recite the definition of waste in their own language. It was, and we gave a prize for the most euphonious, which I think turned out to be the Hungarian definition. But that simple process, I think, taught us more about the problems of trying to make law work in an international environment than almost all the theory. I think perhaps there are three areas where I think we have made a lot of progress. One on access to justice, mention of the Aarhus Convention, a brilliantly simple concept, I think, right to information, right to participate in decision-making, right to access to the courts on non-prohibitive terms. That has developed from those simple beginnings to be something which is now accepted through a very wide part of not only Europe but the wider world, and it's been developed through decision-making so that in fact it's become much more of a reality. A lot more work needs to be done, but it does provide a focus for discussions between judges at all levels. And of course, if you can get people having the idea that they have a real interest in the justice system and have access to it, then that in turn will build up into ownership of much more extensive, ambitious undertakings. Secondly, I think the exchange of jurisprudence. Judges are by nature conservative people. We don't like doing things unless someone has done it before. That, of course, is a recipe for nothing happening. But there have been great initiatives all around the world by judges who've been prepared to move things forward. One's noted particularly in India, Pakistan, in the Philippines, other countries which have had very ambitious and at first sight slightly surprising developments in the law. But as we've met together and we've exchanged ideas, we've been able to carry these forward so that they've become part of the shared jurisprudence of us all. And again, those are things which are going to build up. And then the third thing, I think, which we've developed in the European Forum is actually getting involved with legislators, because the fact of the matter is we are the ones who have to make the legislation work. And so that if we can actually exchange ideas at the formative policy stage, not of course on the policy itself, but on the technical side of things, we can contribute a great deal. And that has been happening, and I think has been very useful. Finally, I'm just sad that the initiative which UNEP started after the Johannesburg summit, and which was led with tremendous energy for a period by Lal Kurukulasaria, and developed a number of initiatives which Luke has mentioned, seems to have rather run into the sand, and nothing much is happening at that level. And I'm delighted to see the proposal put forward under the Pace Law School by Nicholas Robinson and others to try and bring together some of these ideas into an international judicial institute. Thank you very much.